Hi guys, it's Katie here from Katie DeGroff Knits, and I am going to show you my little trick for working the slip-1 with yarn in front without bringing your yarn actually in the front of your work. Oftentimes we have these beautiful patterns that call for the right side's great. You know, you just knit one, slip one across the whole row. But then you get to the back and it is slip with yarn in front, knit one, slip with yarn in front, knit one. So you're constantly moving your yarn back and forth. And that can be very time consuming. It is not hard to do, but it can really take up a lot of time and make that project less than desirable to complete. I am going to show you this both on worsted and an actual project that I have on the needles with a light fingering. So let's flip on around and get to it. So first up is our worsted sample. This is worsted weight yarn on US size 7 needles. So this is a little bigger, might be easier for you to see. And then I'm also going to show you on a light fingering. So we have our simple knit one, slip one done across the front. This is the back of the work. We're going to knit one. Now we come to a slip one. And traditionally, what you're going to do is bring your yarn forward, slip it, take it back. That is very time consuming. It can also tangle your yarn or twist it in a less desirable fashion. So how do you achieve your yarn being in front while still slipping this stitch? You're going to bring your right hand needle underneath your working yarn. Slip that stitch. Now bring it underneath your working yarn. You now have slipped that stitch with the yarn in front without moving the yarn actually to the front of your work. So we work our next stitch. You're going to bring this right hand needle under your working yarn. Slip the stitch, and that is it. Your working yarn is still in the back of your work, but you have slipped the stitch with the yarn in front. So let's go through that one more time. Bring your right hand needle under your working yarn, slip your stitch, bring that stitch under your working yarn, and you're good to go. Now there are some issues that can arise with this. I tend to get in a rocking motion when I do this, so that may be easier for you. But the biggest problem that I have found, when you bring your right hand needle underneath and you slip that stitch off, be sure to sort of duck your right needle under. Maybe hold the slip stitch with your finger. Duck it under and don't slide it. If you slide it, you may slide that stitch right off your needles. So I'm going to show you that again. This has happened to me several times, so that's why I'm bringing it up. It might never ever happen to you, but that's where I kind of came up with my rocking motion that I'll show you here in a second. So you're going to bring your right hand needle under your working yarn, slip that stitch off. Don't bring the needle straight across, or that stitch is going to fall off. Make sure you bring it under, and you can achieve this a couple of ways. You can give yourself some security that as soon as you bring it under, sort of hold it to the needle with your finger, your pointer finger. That's one way. So let me show you again. You've brought your needle under your working yarn, slip your stitch. As soon as it comes underneath that working yarn, pinch it to the needle with your pointer finger, give them some security. Now I tend to get in a rocking motion when I do this. Under and rock it out under. So I'll take my needle under my working yarn, slip that stitch, and rock it underneath. So I'll show it to you again. Under, and then I rock it under to bring it up. Okay, now I'm going to show you on a light fingering weight sample. I think it's very important to show you on multiple bases and weights, because I find a lot of instructors will only film with heavier weight yarn and larger needles, which, yes, it can be easier to see. However, I don't knit a lot with heavier weight yarns, so for me it can be difficult to translate onto fingering weight. And this is actually interesting. I'm going to show you how to rip this out. So I'm going to show you how to rip out when you have your knit one, slip one with yarn in front on your wrong side. That is something I have not seen too much of, and it can be beneficial because we all make mistakes. So this is the wrong side of my work, and we are ripping. We are not performing the stitch. So if you've made a mistake, you need to go back and change something, you dropped a stitch somewhere, whatever the case may be. So I've come to a slip stitch, and my yarn should be in front, but I don't want to move it to the front. That is time consuming and cumbersome. So just like we did when we worked the stitch, we're going to bring our needle under. So we're going to bring that stitch right under and transfer them over. Now we work backward on our knit stitch. We're bringing our right hand needle under, and you can sort of move it to the other side of that slip stitch, giving your left hand needle full access to move that stitch over. Now we just simply undo our knit stitch, back to another slip, move our right hand needle under, sort of expose our stitch we want back to our left hand needle, move him over, rip out our simple knit stitch. I'll do that a couple more times for you. Take your right hand needle under, sort of move them to the other side so your stitch is all free and clear. Move them back, rip out your knit stitch. So, and I know we've all been there. Everybody has been there where you need to rip something out. So hopefully that'll help you out a little bit there. So there is a way to rip it and do it without moving your yarn to the front. So I'm now working this stitch. We're going to work it the same exact way we did before. Now, bring your right hand needle under, slip that stitch, make sure you get it under and you're not sliding, okay? This is where, and I'll show you this kind of sped up a little bit here in a second. Again, right hand needle under working yarn. Move that stitch under and over. So I'll show you my rocking motion. I'm sort of up and down. Well, kind of down and then back up, I guess it would be. So we're knitting, down, back up. Knitting, down and back up. Down and back up. So for me, this is a game changer. This is a lifesaver. I want to thank everyone for joining me for seeing how I work my slip one with yarn in front without actually having to bring your yarn to the front. I hope that it was beneficial to you to also see how you rip it out. I don't think a lot of people think about that. I've now made these stitches. How do I get rid of them? Because there's going to be a time in everyone's life, and there is no shame in that, when we have to rip our stitches out. We have to go back. Something wasn't right, or maybe something wasn't as right as we would like it, or we dropped a stitch, or we messed up a row. And if you're like me, I am a tink back every stitch kind of person and not a drop and pick up. Hopefully that was helpful for you to see how to work it both ways. So if you liked that video, be sure to check out my podcast and subscribe to my channel, and you will get notified when I post another video. Thank you all for joining, and happy knitting, everybody.